A substantial question has been raised from the contributors to the Provident Fund as a EPF retirees. What is the guarantee given at the time of enrolling the Provident Fund scheme as a subscriber? As a government, any guarantee is given that we will ensure providential source on your retirement or death of the employee working in the public sector or private sector or public limited or private limited or the sole trader or the hawkers and peddlers on the road or any establishment doing a business. Nothing. The persons who were earning were afraid when they will die or when they will retire, there may not be any source to lead a post-retirement life or life after the death. Therefore, in the form of savings, they contributed to the employer. In fact, the employer collected the amount, deposited with the Provident Fund Commissioner for the payment with interest thereon in the case of demitting office on account of death, medical unfitness, or in the case of accident, or on superannuation or voluntary retirement, as the case may be. Just like any common man, the income comes is either deposited with the bank or given to his wife, or it is putting in the investment in the land or in any other form, or drink and dance and die, is no relevance. Similarly, persons who are working either in the public sector or in the private sector or with the limited company or the private limited company, everybody who are contributing the Provident Fund as a subscribers were not governed by the pension rule at all. There was no demand so far, and they were asking any demand from the government of India, then the Provident Fund Commissioner or the authority under whom they were working as an employer, either the private limited or public limited, either public sector or private sector, or entrepreneur independently dealing a business, or a private establishment, or a hawker or peddler, or anybody, either it may be a tea stall holder or a sari merchant or a banana seller or anybody. As an employer, they were giving the employees, or otherwise they were depositing a 1/12 of the amount as a savings to pay in the post-retired life or in the event of demitting office on death or voluntary retirement or leaving their services. Therefore, the government do not come to play any role. The pay commission from 1946 was there. There was no demand from the PF employees other than the government, central or state. Again, 57 second pay commission. Again, in 1973 third pay commission, there was no demand from the any public sector and private sector. If that is there, the government would have insisted the public sector or a private sector, either limited company or private limited, or any private establishment of any businesses, or even a hawker or peddler or a tea stall holder, to pay the fund to the pension in the event of terminating the services of their workers. That was not done. 1973, 1986 fourth pay commission, 1996 fifth pay commission, sixth pay commission 2006, seventh pay commission 2016. Now we are heading towards eighth pay commission. Luckily or not, as an ex gratia they granted in the year 1995 on 16/11 to the persons who have contributed through the employer as a savings for the worker under them, either in a public sector or in a private sector. They never contributed any single pay for pension fund for the government of India, like a state government or central government, were assuring the employees. Otherwise, the government would have collected equal amount of fund more than the Provident Fund contribution or more, whatever as is required to settle according to the number of persons employed. But the government allowed the private sector, public sector as a company to enjoy profit and give bonus, everything. But finally throwing a blame on the government, as they are contributing the Provident Fund, they are entitled for it, is not at all correct. Who questioned it? Some way or other they accepted and ex gratia. Ex gratia means what? They don't understand. I may give or may not give, I may continue or may not continue. As a gratis I paid in 95. It could have been stopped in 96 also, they continued. Thereafter they demand on par with the central government or state government for the graded relief. That also granted. And now suddenly demanding for the 7,000 or 7,500 or 8,000 or 3,500 or 3,000 or even 2,000 as a basic is not at all right or not. Having any base for it should be understood. If that is not the case, in the national level, have they insisted their company owners as an employer to deposit the money for the pension purpose or for ex gratia purpose in the event of death or compensation on account of accident or on account of retirement of all employees under whom they are working. They enjoyed the profit and shared with them, and they enjoyed bonus. They did not even proper payment of taxes, and they were evading by various means of welfare scheme. And in such a situation, how come the EPF employees who are just contributed through the employer for their saving and payment after retirement shall have any claim with the government? First of all, the basic awareness should be payment of ex gratia is challenged. They will have no value for guaranteed payment and continuity of payment, and it has not been protested properly in 96 to 2006, again not protested in 2016. Now also it is not properly agitated. Make the company to answer. Make the private or public sector to answer for them. Their employer should come forward. I am prepared to bear the ex gratia payment in the event of death or retirement or accident in their post-retired life, as the ex gratia is required to be paid, as I was paying the contribution to the Provident Fund, and with the interest I am paying on the date of retirement, and thereafter for any increase I am liable for it as a private company or public sector or as a entrepreneur doing in the establishment or as a hawker or a peddler under whom the workers are working. There is no guarantee. When such being the case, the demanding ex gratia for hike for straight away to 8,000 from 1,000 or for 7,000 or for 5,000 is a meaningless. Like the pay commission is demanded without increasing 100% of DA. Either 10 years they have brought as a criteria when there was a delay by 16 years in 1973 from 1957. Again there is a delay by 13 years up to 1986. They demanded because there was an increase beyond 100% cost of living index number. But thereafter 10 years or more than 100% of DA both were fulfilled. Whereas now only 53% DA is given in the 8th Pay Commission. There is no guarantee can be given. It is not at all tenable. When that is the case, it should be clearly understood. The government need not formulate, need not have accepted, need not have approved. 100% cost of living index number DA has not been compensated for anybody, only 53%, and 10 years have gone by. Both are not fulfilled. It may be dragged for another 5 years or 6 years or 10 years, who knows, till 100% DA is crossed or 10 years are completed. It may be more than 16 years or 13 years, like 1956 to 1973, 73 to 1986. It may be from 2016 to 2031 or 35, we don't know. Even by 2036, there may be a straight 8th Pay Commission. Only we have to wait and see. Therefore, there is no meaning in the demand of the EPF or for the payment of increased pension or salary hike by the central government or by the state government or the public sector undertaking or private sector undertaking, unless the private sector, public sector undertaking are made a fixed to contribute to the government to look after their retiring employees or employees demitting office on account of voluntary retirement or accident or on account of death. Therefore, I appeal to the Government of India, pay only those who are below poverty line, those who are not having any source of income, who are crossed 60 years, who are destitute, who do not have any income, should be paid as a pension from 1/1/2026 as the main mandatory motto for the Government of India.